they tell us.
Question over there.
This is a question for Andrea Arnold. My name is Deborah Cole from Agence France Presse. Your film deals with a lot of issues, but one of them is disparity of wealth and the lack of opportunities for young people. And given how much you travel in the United States, it would interest me your perspective as a Brit right now, this election campaign that is trying to provide answers to these questions, and they're so extreme, and whether you form some impressions while you were in America. And then the second brief question is, for you as a filmmaker, a British filmmaker, how Brexit could possibly impact your opportunities to get financing and get your films made.
Say again, the second question?
So how a Brexit could possibly influence Britain leaving the European Union,
yeah.
How that could influence your opportunities to get financing and get your films made.
I don't know the answer to that question.
Okay. And then the first question?
The first question. Well, I mean, on my trips and things, I got to see an awful lot of America, and I think I formed an awful lot of... I think the film is a little mix. It's a mix of what I grew up with, the America that I grew up with, which I mostly saw through Hollywood. You know, Little House on the Prairie and... cowboys and these things. It's a mix of that, which was my sort of romanticized idea of it, and a mixture of actually the contemporary America that I saw when I did my trips. And I think in the film, I sort of thought, I got to see an awful lot as I was traveling, and I was quite sort of, I got quite upset about some of the towns I went to, some of the poverty I saw, and it seemed really different to me than in the UK, you know, because when people don't have money, they can't get healthcare, and they can't get, do things like go to the dentist and stuff like that, and those kind of things really shocked me. There was a time when we were, and the drugs as well. That was another thing that I found really interesting, is that everywhere we went, especially I guess we were we spent quite a lot of time as well looking for the cast. So we were going to places looking for lots of young people. So I guess I was immersed in a sort of, in that world, in the young world, if you like. But there was one time we were in West Virginia in a tiny town, and this town had like a drugstore. It had like a dollar store, a funeral director's, which was flourishing, and about 3 drugstores, pharmacies, in a tiny, tiny town. And I thought, wow, 3 pharmacies in a tiny town, that's really interesting. And then we went into one pharmacy, and in one pharmacy, there were like 5 people behind the counter doing prescriptions. And I found that, I just like, I don't know, in the UK, you go into Boots, and there's like one guy behind there, you know, doing the prescriptions. So I found that quite interesting. I asked them what were they dishing out, and they said they were dishing out painkillers to older people and antidepressants to young people, and it was a tiny, tiny town, and they said there was a lot of addiction to both those things in that town. Those are the kind of things that I found. I don't know if I answered your question, but anyway, sort of rambled on.